Good evening, everybody. I think I'm speaking to a people, set of people who can speak. I want uh, absolute interaction session today. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Only one person. Everyone, please
Good
unmute your
evening.
mics.
Good
Give
evening,
a big
sir.
shout. Good evening, everybody.
Good
Good
evening,
evening,
sir.
sir.
Good evening, sir.
Oh, මොකද නිකන් කැදද බිව්වේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ දවසටම. I'm going to ask few questions today, so I need your response. And can I say when you say do a thumbs up, can you go to the reaction button and say put thumbs up? Right? I'll give a order to thumbs up, and you go to the reaction button and give a thumbs up. Okay? Can I have a thumbs up, please? Everybody? Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Everybody. Oh no. This is not going to work. Everybody should put thumbs up. Come on. I wanted to see whether you all living beings or some robots that I'm speaking to. Are there people who cannot use their screens and things properly? Is that the reason? Okay. Are you in a position to raise hands? Go to the participants and can you all give a raise hand, please? Everybody. I want to see raise hands. I can see PP, Harsha. Raise hand. Everybody. So people can't raise hand like Danesh, Mizwar, Gayanti, Indrajit, Felicius. They can't raise their hands. Is it correct? You have some problem. You have some issues. Nokia, CT, PFS, Perra. Are you in a position to speak up? Danisha, you can put your release. You can, I think the reaction will go down because I'm going to ask few questions, and I want either a thumbs up or raise hand. Right? Uh, I'm going to start the session now. I'm going to share the screen. There's a video playing, so better be in a position to join me in the best way possible. Okay. I will keep the share sound optimized for video, and also there's a problem when I share the video. Okay, share. You see my screen now, right? You see the screen? Hello, hello, my friends. Do you see my screen? Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir. Yes.
Oh, that's good. But I now need to see how you can. I can. Okay. Let me now start the session. As I keep on telling you, it's best that you are in a position to react with me. You are in a position to. Uh, so how do I get this screen share option? Now there's a disable annotation. Otherwise, yeah, there's one more chat coming up. What does the chat say? Kumudu Kari or some says yes. That means you can see my screen. Only I can't see you guys. How do I do that? Uh, how do I do that? So, Mr. Pereira, you can't hear me. If there's anybody who can't hear me, please let me know. Am I speaking loud enough for you to hear me now? No.
Yes, sir.
Now it's okay, right? Because I used a different setting because I'm showing you a video, right? Okay. Uh, you see the screen, full screen, okay? Only thing I don't see you guys, which I don't like. So today we are going to discuss something, and this is where I really want your reactions. I don't know how you are going to give me the reactions. At least you have to be 100% honest. The next couple of slides, 100% honest. Okay, I don't want dishonesty. You're not going to cheat anybody. You are going to cheat yourself. So please be 100% honest. Only thing I still am not very happy with the way that I'm going to get your reactions, because what I want is I want the a way that I can see your reactions, or your what do you call this, your responses. Okay, let's start. The first thing I'm going to do is do a kids game. Are you prepared? I'm going to give you a kids game. Are you ready?
Yes.
It's a
Sir.
kids game, okay? It's not for the adults, for the kids. So for a moment, assume you guys are all kids. Are you ready? Are you ready? I want a full resounding yes. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
It has only 3 seconds,
Sir.
okay? Yes. Any problem? No problem. Within 3 seconds, I may give you 5 seconds. You are all mathematicians, engineers. We are going back to preschool, Montessori. Okay, my grandchild is 6 years and she's 5 years. She's in the grade 1, year 1. I'm sure you can do this. Okay, I'm going to give you 3 seconds. Maybe I'll increase a little bit, knowing that you all joined a little late, and maybe you all there's a chat coming up. Let me see what the chat is. Mr. Pereira keeps on asking, beg your pardon. Mr. Pereira, you can't speak. He keeps on saying, beg your pardon. I can't understand whether you don't hear me or whether you have a problem with your sound system or mic. Is that why you're saying, beg your pardon? No problem. So the countdown begins, right? You are going to do this. Oh, where is that? Okay. You see the screen? The countdown starts now. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Finish. You counted the number of monkeys, right? If you want one more chance, let me know. You want one more chance? Yes or no? You are
Yes.
ready now, right?
Yes.
You want one more? Don't say yes. If you want or you are ready. Are you ready or you want one more chance?
Need one more chance, sir.
Okay. Okay. One more chance. Now, this time don't make a mistake. I'm going to strictly follow the rule 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I give 5 seconds. Now the question time. Please switch on all your mics for those who can. Please switch on all the mics, those who can. Please. It's going to be high fun, okay? It's going to be high fun. So let me, there are 3 chats. Let me see what they're going to say. Timetable, not informed. I am sorry. Yes. Okay. Mr. Pereira is having some problem. Okay, never mind. Right. Now the question time. Please have all those who can, please keep your mics on, because I'm going to ask a couple of questions. How many of you? How many of you are monkeys? I'm sorry, I'm joking. Okay. How many of you, this is the first question, counted in single? Please, shout. How many counted in single? Come on. If you have counted in single, please say so. I can't see your reactions because.
Yes, sir.
Say count 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Those who counted in single? Oh, අයියෝ මේක නම් හරි සෞතුයි වැඩේ. ඔයගොල්ලෝගේ වැඩ නම් හරි සෞතුයි. අවක්කම කියන්න එපයි. සිංහල ජාතියත් එක්ක ඔයගොල්ලෝ Somebody giving a. How many of you counted in single? Once again. All of you, those who count in single, can you please switch on the mics and shout? Say yes, yes. How many of you count in single?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. How many of you counted in Tamil? Anybody? Please open the mic and say yes. No one. Not a single person counted. One person counted in Tamil. How many counted in sing English?
Yes, sir.
How many?
sir.
Yes.
Ah, I hear the same sounds again and again and again. Any other language? Japanese, Chinese? No one. In my frank opinion, the ones who said I counted English, I doubt very much. None of us speak, none of us, I mean, English is not our mother tongue of any of us, as far as I think. I don't see you guys. There may be a few of you whose mother tongue is English, but that I think is extremely small minority. Because we often think in our own mother tongue. What do you think now? In which language did you count? In which language did you count?
English, sir.
English. That's very strange.
My mother tongue is Tamil, but I counted in English.
That's okay. That's perfectly all right, because you are used to doing that. Okay, but definitely most of us, we usually, when you count mentally, we count in our mother tongue. So the problem is not only counting, we more often than not, we think in our own mother tongue. Then we try to put it to English. And especially my friend who said his mother tongue is Tamil, and I'm sure he's so with a lot with people who are Sinhalese. I'm sure he thinks in Tamil, then he speaks in Sinhala. Is there anybody who speaks Tamil? Who's that guy who said that his mother tongue is Tamil? What is his name?
Printer.
Huh? What is your name?
Printer.
Huh? Huh?
Printer.
Prince.
Printer.
Your name is Prince, is it?
Printer, yes.
Princeton.
Oh, Printer.
I just can't understand you properly. Printon, is it? Clinton.
Yes, sir.
Bill Clinton.
No.
Not Bill Clinton. Okay, no problem. Never mind. So, do you think when you want to speak in Sinhala, do you think in Sinhala?
No, I mostly think in Tamil and then I translate to English.
Then you try to speak in Sinhala or English, right?
Yes.
There you are. This is what I want to get out of you. Most of us first think in our own mother tongue. Then we try to articulate that in English, Sinhala, or Tamil, whatever the case may be. So that is where the problems are. That is where we are having all the problems, right? When we want to write some printen, that is where all the problems. That's why we are struggling to articulate in English. That's why you are struggling to write in English. And I'm trying to help you to overcome that problem, if possible, to a certain extent, and see whether you can improve our method of. You remember my title, right? What did I say? Let us make sense when we talk and write. We need to make sense when we talk and write, especially as engineers. We can't afford to make mistakes, my dear friends. You are holding responsible persons. You are going to be corporate members of the IESL, and you can't afford to make a mistake. If you think your English is poor and bad, it's better that you don't speak in English. I'll tell you how to do that, how to overcome that problem in a moment. But please, if you want to speak in English, try to make yourself understood. Okay? Right. When do we make mistakes? When do we make mistakes? We make mistakes in writing, we make mistakes while talking, we make mistakes in speaking, we make mistakes in our gestures. It's very inconvenient for me to explain to you some of these things without seeing you guys, without speaking to an audience. I do that on the stage, and there are participants with whom I do a couple of exercises. You see, gestures is very important. The posture is very important, and the most important thing is in our thinking. If we don't think properly, none of these things will go right. So I put it as the last thing. Thinking is the most important thing. If your thinking is right, if your mind is clear, you will be able to write well, you will be able to talk well, you will be able to speak well, you will be able to use the gestures well, and even your posture will be correct. I hope you understand all these words. If you don't understand, you can ask me now. I will explain to you. It's up to you to get something out of me to the best of your ability. I am there to explain to you all these words, right? Unfortunately, since I'm not seeing you face to face, I can't show these things. If you want to make interventions, please speak up. It's very difficult for me to see some of the chats, my dear friends. So someone is saying in our posture. Does it mean that you can't understand the word posture? Is it mean that you do? I don't know who that P2T. Do you want me to explain what is posture? Yes or no? Yes or no? You don't want me to explain, right? You all know this, everything. Writing, speaking, talking, you understand. Thinking also you understand. Gesture is your body language. Sometimes when people speak, you see the arms going here and there and showing your feelings with your face and your body. Those are your gestures. So when you say hi, for instance, you raise your hand. You don't say hi and put a thumbs down, do you? You know what a thumbs down is. You don't say hi and put a thumbs down. That's the wrong gesture. All right? Posture means when you make a speech, you stand upright and straight and look into the eyes of the people. That's your posture. You don't sit down and like like I am trying today is that kind of thing is not a good posture. You have to stand upright when you make a speech. Even while talking with someone, you raise your tone, you lower your tone, depending on the feelings and depending on the mood, right? And if you go to a meeting and sometimes you see on the papers they make fun of the politicians, right? You just sit in the front row and start nodding. What do the speaker feel, right? As much as the speaker should be upright and creating an interest in his speech, if you sit down and like a DRH and I think that the posture is wrong there. The sitting posture is wrong. Pose, it comes from the word pose. You pose for a picture. So posture. I hope you understand what I'm saying. If you want any clarification, please ask me. What are the mistakes we make in writing? I have to go a little faster than usual. Grammatical. The most common mistakes are in grammar. Spellings can be easily corrected now with the spell checkers, but you have to be very careful with the spell checkers, right? Contextual. This is the biggest problem that most people have. Write in proper context. Write in proper context. I hope you understand. If you don't understand, please speak up, right? because it's very difficult for me to see if you even send me a chat and ask me a question. I can't respond because I'm concentrating on your slides. When you write a letter, a memo, or a report, you got to do these things on a day-to-day basis in business. You write letters, you write memos, and you write reports. This is mostly what you do in office. Either you write a letter, you write a memo, or report, or a report. So I'm not going to go into all the details that I usually go when I do it in class, unfortunately. You have to bear with me. I hope you understand the difference between letter and a memo, right? If there's anybody who doesn't understand, I'll explain. Otherwise, I'm skipping, right? If you don't understand anything, you can raise your hands or speak to me. Otherwise, I'll have to assume that you understand what I'm saying, right? Letter and memos are different, okay? Report is still another different thing. Maybe you write so many other things. You don't write love letters anymore. That time is gone, I suppose, right? Because there are texting methods and so many other methods that you do now. There are hardly anybody writing love letters anymore. The reader does not see your face. Remember, when you write a letter, memo, or a report, the reader does not see your face. You will not get an immediate reaction. Therefore, you will have to depend on the choice of words you use to create either a positive or a negative impression of you, your company, the matter at hand, and hence the final outcome. Right? So, since you do not see the face, now just imagine there are two people talking and you say something, and if he doesn't understand, you see a quizzical face, you see the person doesn't understand, then you explain to him again. You have that facility when you have a person face to face. But when you write a letter or something, a report, and make a certain very serious fact known to someone else, you don't know him, you don't see him, his immediate reaction. So you have to depend only on the choice of words you use. And the choice of words you use will either create a positive or a negative impression of not only you, your company, and also the matter at hand. See the amount of things at stake. You don't write properly. You don't realize this. I don't know how many of you are senior engineers and you get reports and letters from juniors. I don't know how many of you. I don't even see you faces. I do even get an understanding of how old you are, right? But remember, your final outcome depends only on the words you use. You use the wrong word, gone, finish. Finish. You can't retrieve the decision. So this is very serious. That's why I insisted that I speak to you guys, because not because I have fun in teaching. I love fun teaching. That's a different matter. Not that I want to take your time, valuable time on a Friday afternoon, but I thought you all should, at least those who are interested, should understand a little bit of what it means to your whole life. I have a classic example. I studied at a Asian university for my master's, and I'm very famous there. Like, I'm not boasting about myself. I even recently got an award from that institution. I was admitted to the Hall of Fame of that institution. So they know me well, and I know them well, and I know their process very well. So about 20 years ago, or maybe even a little bit more, two first-class place students from a prestigious Sri Lankan university, uh, and from the same batch, both of them had first classes, joined my team in the CEB. This is a true story, 100% true story. And after 2 years, because I don't allow anyone to go for postgraduate less than 2 years. After 2 years, I encourage them to apply to the same institute for a scholarship. Both of them applied. And after, to cut a very long story short, One person got selected, the other person did not get selected. So that I used to go to that institute very often. When I went there, the professor was one Ram Shrestha. I asked Ram, why did I sent you two applicants, you selected one, the other one you did not select. I almost gave both equally good ratings, and I also wrote almost an identical recommendation. You know what he said? Be careful of what you are going to hear from me, but I don't tell lies. He said, unfortunately, Shavi, there was only one scholarship available this year, and I had to select one from the other. I went through the both applications thoroughly. Both applications were 100% perfect. I never had any. I just could not select which one is better, because you had given an identical recommendation for both of them. I didn't have even that facility. So I went through the applications carefully, and we had to write a kind of a project proposal to get into the university. He said, I went through the reports, and one person had several grammatical and spelling mistakes in his report. So I had to drop that applicant and select the other. You know the destiny of the two? The one who got selected is a professor of a prestigious university in Australia. He passed out from my same institution. Let me tell you, the institute is Asian Institute of Technology, Bangkok, and went to Canada and got his doctorate, and came back and taught at AIT, and became a professor. Now he's in Canberra University, University of Canberra. The other person is still an engineer in the Ceylon Electricity Board. When I see that person, I feel very sorry. That is what can cause you if you don't know how to write properly. It is as bad as that. It's a very solid, classic example of the importance of proper writing. Okay, when you write, introduce the subject. Clearly describe the subject of the letter, the memo, or the report. So sometimes, if it is a very small thing, just the subject line would suffice. If you are saying that leave of absence or something, leave of absence, just one single sentence. You don't write the whole purpose why you are going to seek leave of absence as a subject line. No, but if you are writing a report on, let's say, a method of repairing respiratory instrument in a hospital due to COVID, maybe in the first paragraph you introduce and say, a team of engineers comprised of us, that we have studied this subject, and we are going to propose easy method of repairing a respiratory instrument or whatever at cheap cost. That is the subject. You see the difference. Sometimes just a subject line, sometimes at least one paragraph to introduce the subject. That's very important. The first opening paragraph should be the subject. Nothing more. Clearly describe subject. Sometimes subject line would suffice. Next few paragraphs, develop the case or subject. This is the main part of your argument, main body. So even when you're writing your B paper, remember this. When you write, I get horrible, I'm going to show you some horrible write-ups. So next comes the development of the case of the subject. You can't stop at that. You have to conclude with a solution or alternatives with reasoning. You have to conclude what you're writing, right? It's like, you have your meals, and once you finish, because we all, as Sri Lanka, we use, I think most of us use fingers. When you finish eating, you just don't go out without washing your fingers, right? and maybe take a sip or two of water. You have to conclude that matter. You have to conclude that subject. Then recommend the course of action you desire. Sometimes you have to do this fourth part. Recommend the course of action you desire, or recommend the decision the reader has to take. Now, this is not relevant for the B paper, but it's most often in reports. Because you are the person who is presenting the subject to someone else. Then you should be in a position to conclude and also recommend the course of action you desire, or recommend the decision the reader has to take. When I say recommend the decision, it doesn't mean you tell, if you're writing a letter to your head or department or boss, you don't say, hey boss, you please approve this. I have seen such letters. Not in that language, but in a compulsive way that you give prescriptions to. You don't do that. I'll give you some examples. Continuing. Right? If there are any questions, please raise your voice, right? I would rather ask you to raise your voice than raise your hand. Continuing. The opening paragraph should be concise, short, and positive. It should create an interest in the reader to go on reading. There are certain letters, certain memos, certain reports we get. If the opening paragraph is not good, you don't feel like reading the rest of the report, the rest of the letter, and the rest of the memo. You see what I'm going to do, tell you later on. So the opening paragraph should not be long. It just should be very concise, 3-4 lines at most. The subsequent paragraphs should develop the details and appropriately separated by paragraphs for one issue at a time. For clarity, I see sometimes, my God, reports. One whole paragraph, the report. And that paragraph has 5 different issues. That's bad. We have learned paragraphing in grade 5, if I remember correct, or grade 5 or grade 6. How to write paragraphs. Whether in Sinhala or Tamil, we have learned that. In Sinhala, we say, Chedawalta Kadima. I don't know what you say in Tamil, I'm sorry. I am very keen to learn very fast. My Tamil colleagues can teach me some Tamil, right? You have to separate them into paragraphs. And the most important, the closing paragraph should be courteous and polite. You can't roughshod. I hope you understand the word roughshod. Okay? You remember the old saying? The first impressions are lasting. The first love. I'm sure most of you had your first loves. Maybe your wife is, or the husband is not the first love, but you may still remember the first love. I do that. Of course, married, not my first love, but I still remember my first love. I may not have married her either, but that's a different matter. I still remember that. I'm sure it's most of you remember the first love or first thing that you, somewhere when you afraid of first love, your first visit to Norelia, your first visit to Colombo, your first visit on a train, your first impression of nice car, Benz or a BMW or whatever. The first impression is very, very important, right? The first smell of a rose, right? So remember that. It's just like that. The first paragraph is very important. And not only that, you can't get away with the first impression. We remember the best what we read last. We remember the best what we read last. Now I usually do this practicals in the class. I know I'm just after my cup of evening tea. I know what you had last. What is the taste in your tongue right now? What is the taste in your taste right now? If anybody can tell me, What is the taste in your tongue right now? Is there anybody volunteers who can tell me now? What is the taste right now? Just feel your tongue and see what is your taste in your tongue.
Tea.
Tea. Who said that tea? Come on, give me your names. I'm a small child.
I'm
Who
Kosala.
said? Huh?
I'm Kosala.
Kosala.
Yeah.
Kosala. Tea. Yes, of course, tea, Kosala. I just had a cup of tea, so the taste of tea is still in my tongue.
Yeah.
Until I have something else, that's still in my tongue. So we remember the best that we read last. Remember this. You may have got letters. Somehow or other, you may have got letters which are very nice and soothing and big, nice letters. But in the end, if they say, "I fire you," having told that you are a good engineer, you have done very well, you have brought in a lot of benefits to the company, but you would say that unfortunately the company is running at a loss, so we have decided to terminate you. What stays in your mind? The good words that were stated in the letter, or the last thing that said, "We are going to unfortunately terminate you"? What stays in your mind? What keeps on bothering you after that? Do you like and say, "My God, the company boss has really appreciated me," and you go home and tell your wife or mother or parents and say, I got a beautiful letter saying that I am one of the best employees they ever had"? What are you going to say? "Oh my God, they gave me a letter today. They said the company is going to wind down and I'm going to lose my job." Is that what you're going to say? Is that what you're going to say? Come on, man, I need some responses. I'm not speaking to a set of robots, right? I need your responses. Please, please. Please feel free to interact with me. What do you remember last? The last few words in a letter. The last few words in the report. The last few words in a memo. Isn't that so? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Please feel free to interact, right? I'm a very friendly guy. I want you guys to be friendly with me as well. I will have to go home today thinking I'm already at home, that I have been speaking to a set of robots and computers, which I don't like. Do you remember these two differences? The first impression and the last impression. They're very important. So whatever you may write in between is finally immaterial. That's all I'm trying to tell you now at the moment. We have the dessert after the meal, and the dessert, the taste of the dessert, like the ice cream or pudding or whatever taste, lingers in your tongue for a long time. Now, the most important thing that you may ever learn in this session, what is it in blue? Please read this. If you want, you can copy it and keep it in front of you when you're writing a letter. Always look at this. What is in blue? The opening lines of a letter often determines the destiny of the same. You understand the destiny of the same. And the closing lines will result in a positive or a negative action. So if the opening lines, if the subject matter is of no interest, the person who is reading is either going to put it to the WPB. You know what WPB is? All of you know what WPB, right? Or send it to a higher up, send it to a peer, or send it to a subordinate. That's all you can do. Only 4 things. As you put to the WPB, send it up, send it to a equal or peer, or send it down for action or no action. So that is the destiny. So that is the opening lines. And the closing lines will result in a positive or a negative action. This is the importance of the conclusion. Either you're going to get a positive result or a negative result, will depend on the closing paragraph. Remember these things very well, clearly. Some examples of opening paragraphs. I told you I'm going to give some examples. I wish to draw your kind attention to the most recent improvements we have made to increase the productivity of the. Aha. The person, maybe he's writing to a head of the department. So this will attract him to read. Go on reading the letter. Because this someone who is writing to him saying, how can I can let you know how to increase the productivity. So that will excite him to keep on reading the report or the letter or the memo. I wish to draw your kind attention to the steps we have taken to create awareness, which has resulted in the improvement of safety record. Maybe there are some problems in your factory and there are a lot of breakdowns and accidents. Then you're writing a report and say, I wish to draw your attention to the steps we have taken to create awareness, which has resulted in the improvement of safety record. So that will again excite the reader to keep on reading. I hope you got the feeling what I'm saying, trying to get at. Please give me any reactions if you want. You want to disagree with me. If you want to add something, I'll be most happy to listen to you. Okay. More examples of closing paragraphs. I shall therefore be grateful if you could kindly look into, if you could kindly grant permission, if you could kindly approve. These are the kind of closing lines. What happens if you write, please grant approval? My subordinate write to me and saying, please grant approval. I shall not. Even if I want, I shall not. Please grant permission. I shall not. In fact, this happened. A letter came to me from one of the prestigious universities in Sri Lanka, from a professor who is a very close friend of mine. And he wrote one letter to say, when I was doing the Apakotpally hydropower project, he said, please grant permission for fourth year civil engineers to visit Apakotpally hydropower station, full stop. I wrote back and said, dear Professor and so, I may have granted permission, but I am not in a position to grant you permission on your orders. I did that. Then after about 3 months, I met this guy and I asked him, did you get my letter? He said, what letter? Say, you sent me a letter asking your batch to go to Apakotpally and come back, and you said, please grant, he said, please grant permission. He said, grant permission, or please grant permission, or whatever. Project letter, please grant permission. So I said, I sent you a letter back. Oh, I didn't know that. No, I didn't even see that letter. You know what had happened? This guy had signed a document that had come on his table because some student has written the letter. He signed and sent, and the response came. The student would have seen the letter, and he has not even shown that to the professor. So that batch missed seeing the Apakotpally hydropower project. So I tell you, the choice of words can cost you a lot. Choice of words can cost you a lot. Focus on you when you write something instead of I or we. Look at these two sentences. I shall process your order in 2 weeks' time. The importance given to is, I am your boss, you know. I am the one who is processing order, you know. Don't you get that feeling? I shall process your order in 2 weeks' time. I am in control. Why can't you say the same thing in a different way? Your order will be processed in 2 weeks' time. The moment you see the second, you have said the same thing. But the person who received the letter gets the feeling, oh my God, they are processing my order. Come on, they are not taking it online. And in 2 weeks, I'm going to receive my order. It's just a matter of perception. It's just a matter of conveying the same thing in a different way. We shall ship the products in 2 months' time. Who's in control? They. We shall ship, same thing. I mean, it's not a big deal. We shall ship the products in 2 months' time. But the important is the person who writes the letter. But if you say the same thing, Your shipment will arrive in Colombo in 2 months' time. What does it give you? The feeling. You get the feeling, oh my God, my car is arriving on time. My car is arriving in 2 months' time. You're looking forward to receiving what you ordered. You're looking forward to the shipment. A complete different outlook. Common mistakes we make and possible corrections. I am not going, this is a fairly long section. I'm not going to go through this fully. I'm just leaving this, in fact, I'm leaving 3 documents with you, this one and 2 other documents that I'm going to show you next. Please get it from Sanjeeva and go through this very carefully, even not for the BPPs, I think on Sunday, but even not for that, but later on, even you can look at this again, okay? Now look at the mistakes. I have studied the letter which was sent by Mr. So-and-so of such as an estate in Talwakale, indicating his problems. According to his request, he is the person one. His absolute singular translated to English. According to that's what I to ask you the first thing. Do we think in Sinhala or Tamil when you speak write in English? We think in our own language. Now this Sinhala grammar directly translated to English. According to this request, he is the person one. Ekkena. Muhu tamai. Ekkena tamai. Ekkena. The Sinhalese people understand. Ekkena. Person one. Directly translated to English. Who did not get a new house? These are the problems we are having, my dear friends. I'm not blaming you guys. But I'm a Sinhalese and my friend is a Tamil. So we all think in our own language. And we try to translate to English. That's what we're doing all the time. That you cannot do that. You learn the English the proper way. According to this request, he is the person one who did not get a new house. What he wanted to say was, I have studied the letter sent by so-and-so, or such a state Talwakale. Mr. So-and-so is a person who is not entitled to a new house. Completely different structure of the letter. Completely different structure of the letter. Sentence. Now, I used to do this in class. I can't now waste my time, so I'm going to tell you the mistakes. This has 6 mistakes. This particular simple sentence has 6 mistakes. And I have highlighted the mistakes. If you know the mistakes, I'll give you a couple of minutes or seconds. If you can point out the mistakes, please feel free to unmute your mic and speak up. I wish to inform you that I have prepared a summary report on what we have done for dengue eradication program at our sites. And also we have taken remedial action to minimize this problem. Report is attached here for your information. There are 6 mistakes in this simple 3 sentences paragraph. Anybody can tell me the 6 mistakes? I have highlighted them. What is wrong with those highlights? Anybody, please speak up. It's good if you interact. Others will also learn from you guys. And it's more fun than one person speaking. Please. You guys are going to be responsible engineers. I want you to speak up and just not be spectators, or I don't want to get the feeling that I'm speaking to a computer.
The remedial actions.
Anybody who can point out the mistakes?
For the dengue eradication program?
Yeah, what is the problem with the eradication program? You're right. What is the problem with the eradication program? Eradication is one problem and program is another problem. Mistake. Can anyone of you point out the mistakes that are there in these 3 sentences? One paragraph?
Program, there's a spelling mistake.
Program is spelling mistakes. I 100% agree with you. Who is that, please?
Printer.
Printer. This is American English. We still take British English as our standard. PRO, GRA, MME. Okay, one mistake identified. What are the other mistakes? What are the
We
mistakes?
do not start sentences with and also.
Fantastic, fantastic. In English grammar lessons we have learned, we never start sentence with a conjunction. And is a conjunction, also is a conjunction, because is a conjunction, also is a conjunction, but is a conjunction. But now I have to tell you, if you read newspapers today, such kind of sentences are very common. But if you read a research paper or if you read a research document, they don't start sentence with and or but, right? So there's a huge debate going on right now. Should we allow conjunctions to start sentence? I personally don't like. I never use that. I don't encourage you to use that either. But if you read many reports, letters, documents, I increasingly see this sentence starting with conjunctions. Conjunctions are there to couple two clauses or phrases or two sentences, parts of sentences. And the worst is there are conjunctions, there are two kinds. I forget it now, the direct, or that, I'm not going to go into detail because I'm not a grammar teacher. Please go and study grammar. Okay. Subordinate conjunction. Subordinate conjunction is the first phrase qualifies the second phrase. They are called subordinate conjunctions. Others are the direct conjunction or whatever. If it's a direct conjunction, I don't mind, but still I don't encourage. Okay, there are a few others. Eradication. Can anyone tell me the problem with eradication? Eradication. This report has been written in good faith, and this came from one of my program project documents. You can never eradicate dengue. All what you can do is dengue. He should use the word dengue. What? The word eradication. What should he have used? Dengue. Come on, anybody? Give me a word here.
Prevention.
Mosquitoes.
Prevention, absolutely. On what we have done for dengue prevention is possible. But dengue eradication, you have to go through maybe a microbiologist and start preventing dengue. Eradication. Or entire world has tried to eradicate dengue, you can't. So dengue prevention, most certainly yes. And also, someone pointed out it's wrong, minimize once again American English. Then the last one, report is attached here with. I'm sure you can't point out the mistake. We have seen when you say attached, I think 99% of the letters they say attached here with. And there's in English, there's a rule that we don't use superfluous words. We don't use words that are not necessary. So my question to you is, if a report is attached, where else do you attach a report unless herewith? So don't use the word report attached herewith. I'm sure 90% of you use this word report is attached herewith. So from today onwards, don't use that. So the whole thing you can write like this. I wish to inform you that I have prepared a summary report on our dengue prevention program at our sites. We have taken remedial action to minimize the problem. The report is attached for your information. How simple, how straightforward, how clear. I want you to write sentence like this. My dear friends, I have to stop this now and go on a little bit faster and not go on with the other corrections, right? All these are written here. What is in right is not the correct form. What is in yellow is the correct form. I'll read this one for the last. Further, manager highlighted the importance of following a proper entry permission system, the existing grid substations, demarcating working areas, in the energized substations with the color codes, COLOR codes, and taking all possible steps to avoid entering to existing substations after 8 p.m. Further, the manager highlighted the importance of following a proper system of entry permits the existing grid substations, demarcating working areas in the energized substations with the color codes, and taking all possible steps to avoid entry to the existing substations after 8 p.m. Right? You don't say entering to. If you want to use the word to, you can say entry to. Okay. So this has another problem. Project manager in simple terms, because these are wrong. That's a designated post. You can't use simple words, simplified, simple letters. Then starting with and is wrong. Calcula vita. Like Bonavita or something. Vitae. These are Latin words. Using Latin words, take a while and go and look at the Latin word in its original form. Now, I'm not going to, sorry, my dear friends, I'm not going to take a lot of time on these sentences. In white, you have the wrong formation. The yellow, you have the correct formation, right? So I will not go through all these. They are very interesting mistakes. Very interesting. I'll promise you, please have a look at it. And these have all come to me from various people, and I have taken straight from their letters. I have reproduced with the corrections. Okay, I'm going to go very fast. Skip. Now look at this one. This is forwarding for your information, please. And PL dot. Never use abbreviations in any formal letter. That can cost a court case, a loss of a court case, right? Just don't use abbreviations. That has no legal standing. Is forwarded for your information and necessary action, please. A very common thing. Okay, I'm going very fast. I'm not going fast. I'm skipping. So I thought you can get a copy of this and have a look at it at your leisure. What is the time now? I need to keep a track of the time as well. Let me see what the time is now. It's 6:30. If my clock is correct, so I just have another hour to go. A lot to cover. But if you want any questions to be asked, I'm willing to stop and answer your questions. That is the most important thing. Right. Now look at this one. I think I got this from on a email, right? If people can look at this, if people can bring here to see the systems these countries have, they will definitely sort. We want coal plant. Actually, I was doing the virtually study at that time, and there was the lot of opposition. And at that time, this one of my junior engineers got a trip overseas, and he went to one of the countries where they have coal power plants, and he wrote this to me. If people can bring here to see the systems these countries have, they definitely thought we want coal plant. A lot of mistakes, a lot of grammatical mistakes. What he wants to say is this: if people can be brought here to see the systems in these countries, they'll surely accept that we need the coal plant. That's what you want to say. See the amount of mistakes he has made. If the people can have these in the city heart, what is the correct word? City heart. What is the correct word? Come on. Please speak up. Have you seen the city heart of Colombo? What is the correct word here? City heart.
Heart of the city.
Huh?
Heart of the city.
Heart of the city. I think I'm getting only one person responding, so I
city center.
City center, that's okay. But if you want to use the word heart of the city. city center, perfectly all right. If these people can have this in the city heart, why we can't have them? If they can have these type of plants in the heart of the city, I can't understand why we object to them in our country. I remember the giant shouting against highways. I remember the vociferous protests against the highway. This was in the same email I got from this young engineer. And he wrote this one, a bloomer. I am writing because I am typing fast. What do you want to say? Well, here, send me an email, okay? I am writing because I am typing fast. What is the correct word? I want your correct word. What should be the correct word? I'm writing, typing. What? Come on, come on, come on. There are 36 people. What is the correct word? Can't you give me the correct word here? I'm writing because I'm typing. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. You
Fast.
fast. I want to bring out a new paradigm here. I want to bring out new problem that you are having. Please, my dear friends, we have our own accent. We have our own accent. I'm not talking about the accent here. All right? I'm talking about writing what we hear. Now, these days I'm correcting a lot of papers from one university, right? And most of them are ethics, and so that means all essay types. And just these students write what they hear. So there's a person who is writing, I think all the time. He says, I think, THIN, think. For think, THINK. He's right, I think, THIN, because he thinks that what he hears is, I think. So when he speaks, sometimes people say, I think. You don't hear the word K, right? So he writes, keep on writing. I think, THIN. I wonder what is this word, right? So that is wrong. But I am not, when you speak, if you speak to me in your own dialect, if you speak to me in your own, with your accents, I respect you. That's the way you speak. I mean, that's the way your parents spoke, your relation spoke. So, I mean, what can I do about that? I won't hold it against you. But if you write something like this without understanding the word, this is absolutely unacceptable. Right? Okay. With that, I think I'm going to stop these mistakes because I need to get on with something else. Now the last one is a terrible mistake. Actually, I got this from not IESL, okay? I'm in several more organizations, and I got this letter. Now look at this white. What is it, right? Now we are in the process of cleaning unpaid members from the list. So I think what intention is very clear, what they want to say. While we are doing it, we found that several people who are known to us very well among them. Now this came from a very prestigious organization. I mean, recently I read one of the notice that had gone out from IESL. So when I see that, I quietly point out to the person who sent that letter out to correct it. Because the problem is, as IESL or any other organization, we can't make mistakes when you write it. It's published. It's published, other people see this. When other people see this, as I told you right at the beginning, what is the impression they get of that particular organization? Now, this one I got, and I have been a board member and a past president of that particular institution as well. I blasted the board. I took a phone call and I blasted the president and said, "What are you doing? You're demeaning our organization. You know what you mean by cleaning unpaid members? You take a broom and clean. That's what I mean by cleaning." He may think in terms of Sinhala, Suddha Karana. Ape Navalekane Suddha Karana. Put it in Sinhala and English straight away. Cleaning. Right? While we are doing it, we found that several, now see, look at the grammar there. While we are doing it, we found that several people who are knowing to us. Very well among them. Actually, I really got mad when I saw this. We are in the process of updating the membership register. Nanglaisu Suddha Karana kala Sinhalෙන් කියන්න පුළුවන්. But you can write that in English. Write the proper English. And the process of updating the membership register. We have found several of our members who are known to us, members known to us very well, have not paid up their membership fee. Once again, my dear friends, don't try to learn English from me. I'm not an English teacher. And my last advice I'll give you at the end of this particular section, what you should do. Therefore, at last board meeting, we decided personally contact the persons whom are known to us and ask for the renewal of the membership. Another wrongly worded, grammatically wrong sentence. At the last board meeting, we had decided to contact personally those who are known to us and request them to renew the membership. This one. This is another one that will immediately stop your prospects of getting employed. My application for the post of assistant engineer for your kind consideration. I shall be grateful, just like what I got it. I am sending you. I shall be grateful to you if you would please call me for an interview. This single word, grateful, can cost your job. It did, in fact, cost that. But it was not, but you know, I tailor-made it for assistant engineer, but something else, someone else. It did cost that person the job. He was not called for the interview. Right? Better be careful. Don't take English lightly. This application will surely be rejected. Some of you guys may be looking for jobs, new jobs. Get your English right. We are very appreciative if you could comment on Dr. Veda's illustration on reservoir rehabilitation project. So, I mean, these are things you can have a look at it later on. PL dot. I will not use this. I will not read it. I'll send it back to. I have done that. If they come to me from my somebody, I send the report or letter back to them, asking them to clear the letter. The most recent thing was my driver. He wrote in Sinhala. That I'll tell last. Okay. I should be grateful if you could kindly go through the attached report. Right thinking you may accept that some injustice has happened to our colleagues. Right thinking you. he wants to tell me that I am a right thinking person. I trust you would accept that some injustice has been caused to your colleagues. These are direct examples from reports, experience reports sent to me from many young engineers. Look at these things. Apart from the scheduled training, I participated and observed forced maintenance work of the plant from the month of April, blah, 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 blah. 220 kV lines. You can see that they are immediately from reports, okay? But that power hadn't come up. Please, for heaven's sake, when you write official reports and letters, use abbreviations. Power had not come up. Plant has faced few minutes total power loss, blah, blah, blah. Available. Full stop. Simple in. Capitalization. Where is the capitalization? Where is the capitalization for August? Maintenance. So he's the maintenance engineer. See what he's writing. Maintenance. Instead of maintenance, he says major maintenance work. August again. So you know the Putlam is Lakvijay power plant. One of my own Goliaths. Now here he used the wrong place, CB management. So this should be simple. Puttalam, simple. Noracholi, even he working at Noracholi, he doesn't know how to spell Noracholi. China, simple. My friends, I told you at the first lecture itself, you had to be thoroughly correct, accurate, fiercely accurate in what you're writing as an engineer. If you're not accurate, people will have a bad opinion of you. I told that at the beginning, I don't want you to be classified as a bad engineer when you pass out as chartered engineers. I want all of you to be held in high esteem. That's why I really forced myself to ask for this lecture. This lecture was not scheduled. I really don't want to see the engineers being ridiculed by other people, laughing at our engineers. I don't like. I like you people to be held in very high esteem. Frankly, this lecture was not scheduled. You know that. I said, no, I want to speak to them because at least for 30 people I'm speaking now, 32, someone, you get something from me. What I learned in my 36 years in CV, and now today, maybe I have spent 42 years of my professional career in public life. So all that I learned, I want to teach, I want to share with you guys. It's up to you to get everything from me, as much as it from me. Second upper class, second class upper. I am. He's from Motto, in part time. So what he wants to say is he's doing MSc part time. What are you saying? And he's a royalist, right? In Ireland, in first attempt. What island? You can say in Sri Lanka, right? See what a bright student he is. Maintenance staff, same person, maintenance staff, same person from Rochelle. Atnaka, and no space here. No space here. This is another person, again from CEB, right? Now, what is this word? I bearded. Following responsible. I bearded. What does he want to say? Can anyone tell you what he want to say? I bearded. Have you ever heard this word, I bearded, in your life? Anybody? What does he want to say? What do you want to say?
Held.
I held or I bore following responsibilities. Right? Bear. The lady is here. I want to know what you mean by maternity leave. Ladies, do you all know you have a special leave called maternity leave?
Maternity leave.
Maternity leave. So see how irresponsible a person can be, not even care to find out the correct word and see the spacing. See the spacing. Join with. No, you don't say join with. You join synology board. Right? Okay. Now coming back to some B paper answer scripts. I told you, I don't care about your pronunciation for a moment. But you can't write how you pronounce on paper. thousands of laws. I don't find so much. Uh, I like if they can say the correct. I'm going to have a session on pronunciation, right? But I don't really feel bad if people say laws, because I mean this English not is not our mother tongue, and you know why we say laws? Because I think especially Sinhalese, we are not in our language. ගොඩක් නෑනේ ඔක්කොමනේ ඔයාලා O is more present than O. ඔයාලා කියලා අපි කියන්නේ නෑනේ. So most Sinhalese, they find it difficult to say O. I don't blame that. But when you know laws is laws, LAWS, you can't write the way you pronounce of laws and legislations have been passed. Okay? Now here this person is using also all of the time. This sentence is starting with also, this sentence is starting also. That is once again the way you think, no? Ekai, ඊට පස්සේ, again and again. අපි කියනවනේ ආයෙත් බලනකොට සිංහලෙන් කියනවා අපි තව දුරටත් ආයෙත් කියන්න. Those are words that we use in our speech, you know, when we talk with each other. But when you write, that is the problem with English. The way you write is different what you speak. And that's it, even in Sinhala as well. Sinhala is much more prominent. The written Sinhalese language is completely different to, colloquial language, right? If you write like, වරෙන් ඔය මම ගිහින් එන්නම් මචං කියලා ලියුම් ලියනද ගොල්ලෝ? දැන් නෑ. සිංහලෙන් උනා. So there's written language and spoken language in all the languages. I'm sure that is also there in Tamil. Is that so, my dear friend Tamil? Princeton? You have written Tamil language and spoken language, right? Correct? So when you write, you have to be very careful. Sri Lankan. Now, once again, I told you, I know that most of Tamil people have, because I studied Tamil to a certain extent, K and G and H are all same. Is that wrong? No, there's nothing wrong. But when you know the correct word for Sri Lanka is L-A-N-K, you don't write the way you pronounce. And environment policies and relevant authorities. See, authorities. Once again, the way Sri Lankans spell O. We have a O sound and we don't have an O sound. That's the problem. Maybe same with Tamil. Authorities. Right? AU. You say OU. So these are small things that you've got to learn when you write. Right. Chinese. Okay. I'll go. Full of nowadays and but. Now look at this. This from straight from a B paper. And but nowadays. Now, this is what you use in speaking nowadays. But when you write, you don't say nowadays. Presently, the world faced an ultimate threat of climate change. Because it's once again a kind of a conjunction. You say because there's something preceding. But Sri Lanka is developing country, okay. And use this and symbol is not allowed in written English. It's and symbol. Look at this vulnerable threat nowadays. And but and look at this one. Full stop and start the letter with sentence with and. My dear friends, please don't make this kind of mistakes when you write your B paper. Most of the sentences start with and, but, also. And there was another which one? I don't know that one. That was it. Also, ALLSO. Where is that? Where is that? Where is that? I had that and I know it has been just gone out of the window. I've seen that there was a classic case. Also, it's ALSO, right? So that whole sentence was written with ALLSO. It has just got erased somewhere. Okay, I should find it. Look at this paragraph. I usually get someone to come to the stage and read this in one go. You can't. Being the country's state-owned electric utility in generation, transmission, and distribution of electricity board has a vast reservoir of opportunities. Oh my God. One sentence, one paragraph. One sentence, one paragraph. How much of things that you're going to say? He's telling about CB, he's telling about his work, he's telling about, my God, for gaining knowledge, practical skills in offer by dint of massive number of chartered engineers, by being an undergraduate in the field of electrical engineering and being on the verge of completing the degree, could not even have imagined an alternative place to have undergone the implant training. Oh my God, what would have given better and more adequate opportunity to adapt myself? How many things he's trying to say in one sentence? This may be subject for 4 or 5 paragraphs. Don't make these mistakes of long sentences. Put them into short sentences. Nobody's going to be reading long sentences. Never start sentence with words like and, but, also, and, also. Also, I was explained the function line design. Also, I learned the different types. Huge. Another word to avoid. Huge is colloquial, slang. We speak, when we speak, we can use the word huge. Never put that in writing. Also, right? Grammatically incorrect minute from a very important organization. The CEO initiated a discussion and explains the steps is being taken to address the present situation in the company. This after a meeting, I got this minute and I saw this and I hit the ceiling. The CEO initiated the discussion and explained the steps he has taken to address the present situation in the company. Right. I would ask you if you can respond, please. Which one is correct? The man was accused of the murder. The man was accused with the murder. Number one, who says number one is correct? How many of you say number one is correct? Why don't you say yes, yes, and shout me, come on. Hashini raised the hand for one. Yeah. So the second one is wrong. The man was accused, sorry, the man was accused of the murder is correct. Right, man was accused with the murder is wrong. So Hashini raised the hand. Anything and nothing. She can't see anything. Or she can't say nothing. Is correct. Number one is correct. She can't see anything. You would never say she can't see nothing. But if you go to China, Singapore, Malaysia, sometime maybe in Japan, they're very familiar to say, I can't see nothing. All of them use the word, I can't see nothing. Maybe the Chinese language is like that, right? But we can't say that. Among and between. Okay, this is a very good one, which is correct. The 3 boys divided the cake among themselves, or the 3 boys divide the cake between themselves. How many of you would say first one is right? Can I see a raise of hands? I saw some, I can see the raising of hands. How many of you say Harsha's phone raised the hand? Okay. Only Harsha is responding. Okay, come on, way back. Okay. You divide the cake among 3 boys. Between is always used between 2. I divide the cake between 2 of us. The land is shared between my 2 children. Believe. I don't believe anything she ever says. I'm not believing anything she ever says. So second one is clearly wrong. For and since. These are things that you very often make mistakes. I waited for 3 hours already. I waited since 3 hours already. Which one is correct? Anybody? Can you say which one is correct? I waited for 3 hours already, or I waited for 3 hours already? Anybody? Can you please unmute your mic and say which one is correct?
First one.
First one is correct. Absolutely. Yes. First one is correct. Second one is absolutely wrong. I've been waiting since 3 p.m. That is okay. I have been waiting since 3 p.m. That's okay. Had better. You had better to visit the client. That's wrong, clearly. You had better visit the client tomorrow. Now, this book I'm leaving with the Sanjeeva. Please get a copy. There are 130 mistakes students do. Oh, sorry, make. Right. So you never say students do. 130 mistakes students make. It's a very useful book. I have the first few slides examples from that book. I'll guarantee you, if you read this, understand, but I suggest that you do it first without looking at the answers. You have the answers at the back of the book. See how many you get correct out of this 130. It's not easy. It's not difficult either. Assess for yourself where you stand. If you have got something like 60 correct, you really need to do something about it. I would say if you get 100, 120 correct, don't worry about the rest that you did not get correct. Okay. Right. Get a copy of this book. It's available with on soft form. A good look. Then this one is a very nice book, but I must introduce this with a caution. You know the caution? This is an American book. So this uses American language, not English. But it's a beautiful book. So the way you present a sentence, the Americans are, in fact, though the English has originated in England, Americans are very good in presenting a fact. So much so they what you call they sort of mislead you to a large extent. So Americans, when they speak, be very careful, right? Be very careful. The English speaks, you don't have to be that careful. You can. It may be difficult for you to understand the American English, but if you understand it correctly, they don't mislead you. The Americans, it's very easy to understand what they're saying, but you may have understood a completely opposite to what he wanted to say. Better be careful, right? But I suggest that you look at both these books, but this one, please use it with caution. You better know that they're using American English, but it's very nice. It's very nice. I recommend that you have a good look at these 2 books. Now, a video. Listen to this.
Hi, how have you been?
You all hear me? What do you think? What do you think? Come on, I need a response. What do you think? Huh? What do you think of that video? Come on, come on, come on. What do you think? Huh?
We didn't hear a thing.
What?
Yeah, not even the video, I guess.
So that's why I asked you when you see. Come on.
I actually thought you were trying to put on the video.
No. Come on. Why don't you? I don't know. I mean, you guys. I asked you whether you all here. Now let me. I see a report that you. I have put the share the sound, share optimize the video clip. Let me play it from the. Let me play it from the my. Let me see. If I can play it here. I'm so sorry about it. Then I like. Do you hear? Do you hear? Do you hear? Come on.
No, no, you don't.
No.
You don't. Oh. Why that? Stop sharing, and then again start sharing in the proper way. Because share screen. I have put share the. You see my screen, right? Share the sound and optimize the video clip and share it. And now I'll start playing it. Okay. If you don't, hear it, I will share it with. Tell me if you hear it. Huh?
How have you been?
You hear it?
So what's the latest?
No, but
Yes, now we can hear.
I'm sorry to hear that. That's disgusting. Shit. That's revolting. Mother. Mother, please. What a shame. Sin. Don't be silly. Just Gorman? No way. Don't tell me. I accept that. What to do? He's gay. Confirmed bachelor. They're dating. They're carrying on. This is my son's girlfriend. This is my son's special friend. Pretty girl. Fair girl. Nice features. Ugly girl. Sweet girl. Everybody. Every Tom, Dick and Harry. Everybody will be there. The whole ding bang will be there. That's crazy. What nonsense. Everything is alright. Ship, is that okay? Ship, don't worry. Ship. Late night party. Gallivanting. This is ridiculous. This is the bloody height of madness. Don't make me repeat myself. I can't be telling you 101 times. Unfortunately, the thing is, apparently, Sims, can you turn the air conditioner on? Can you on the AC? Can you turn the light off? Can you off the light? My arm hurts. My arm is paining. There you go. Right.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to check out my other videos over there and subscribe to my channel. Bye.
Did you hear it?
Yes.
Did you hear it? Hello? Did you hear it? Please.
Yeah, very
Yes.
good.
What do you think? What is your reaction? You saw the same guy speaking two different ways, right? Which one is the Sri Lankan way? It is the British way. Obvious, right? I don't need to say that. Okay? Right. So what are the mistakes that we make in talking? The grammar, pronunciation, articulation, gesticulation in context. Now you have a small excuse here. While talking, even now, I may make a lot of grammatical mistakes. You never notice that. But if I make a lot of grammatical mistakes, you would have noticed that. So when you are talking and giving a speech even, you can make few grammatical mistakes. Nobody will even realize that. But in pronunciation, if you make mistakes, people will catch you. And once again, I'm going to be very fussy about pronunciation. But better to be perfect in your pronunciation as well. How do you make your pronunciation perfect? Listen to good English channels. I recommend the British Broadcasting Corporation or the BBC, not so much the American ones, because in BBC, when they beam to Asia, they use Asians and sometimes you have Sri Lankans who are the announcers. So they cater to the Asian sounds, the way we pronounce. In articulation, articulation means putting the thoughts into words. In gesticulation, once again, the way you use your body language, and in context, how correct you are in the context, and the common mistakes we make and possible corrections. All of you, all are going to the party. No, this is a very common mistake while speaking, while talking. This is wrong. Can someone correct it, please? Can someone correct it? Please don't feel shy. We are all learning here. Is anybody who would like to correct it? All of you, all are going to the party. No. It's a very common thing. Very common. Anybody? Any correction? Please, I need some volunteers, man. Come on, it's high fun if you have some volunteers. Don't feel shy at all because no one sees your face. Anybody? Make a guess, please. Please help me, man. I'd like to have more people joining in the discussion. Anybody? Like to make a guess? Okay. Are you all going to the party? That's what you want to ask. Or on the other hand, you can say, you all are going to the party, aren't you? This is the way a Britisher will ask. You all are going to the party, aren't you? Okay? That's a better way of saying. The state managers all agree to give salary increase to workers. What is wrong in this? What is wrong in this? There's one word that is absolutely wrong. And that's a very common mistake that many people make. What is wrong in that? Please. Anybody? Come on. Even the ones who know. Huh? What is
The
wrong?
place where we use all.
No. That's a cardinal mistake. Serious mistake. I told you, we write the way we hear. We write the way we hear. What is wrong? We are written the way we hear. What is wrong? The estate. There's something called state managers. All the estate managers agreed to grant a salary increase to workers. No time, no to do all these works. Very common thing, right? There's not enough time to attend to all this work. What man, can't you remember me? You can remember me, can't you? You can remember me, can't you? The abandoned tea factory will be renovated soon. What is wrong? What is wrong? There's a big mistake here. What is wrong? What do you renovate? Anybody? Can you help me to correct this, please? I'm sure there are somebody who understands the mistake. The abandoned tea factory will be renovated. What is wrong in that? Please. Don't feel shy. If you know the answer, please tell up. What is wrong in this? How would you correct it? Oh my God.
Abandoned.
Huh?
Abandoned.
The abandoned or abandoned. There's nothing wrong in abandoned. Abandoned tea factory will be renovated soon. The abandoned tea factory will be renovated soon. We didn't sleep last night. I'm sure you can see the mistake. What is the correct word?
Sleep.
We didn't
Sleep.
sleep last night. We didn't sleep last night. If we not tell this, I don't know how to correct it. Past few weeks, we mostly together with ABC people. Past few weeks means we mostly together with ABC people. We spent the past few weeks with ABC people. My greatest warrior is the time taken to complete the job. I've heard this over and over again. Greatest warrior. Warrior is someone who who is uh, carrying out a war or something, right? My greatest worry is the time taken to complete the job. I keep on hearing these things. My greatest worry, pronunciation. Boy and boy, they are two different words. That is the problem. The boys play cricket and the boys sit on water. You know what the boy is? The word boy come from the buoyance. So if you can, but what I hate to hear people saying is, they say boy, and for boy they say boy. Boys are floating in the river, on the sea, and boys are playing cricket. Why can't we say boys are playing cricket and boys are in on the water, floating on the water, right? Horse and horse. I hear people saying the same person. That's what I can't understand. For horse, they say horse. And for horse, they say horse. I water the plants with my horse. If you allow the horse to put water into the plants will die. You know from where the horse will put the water. Horse and horse. People mix up. Note and not. I hope you understand the difference. Full and pull. And now New Year period is coming. We go for tug of war. Tug of war. How many of you heard when they pull tug of war? Full macam, full. Yeah, gana gipini di giriati. Pull kine kara. All right. Seat and sheet. You sit on the seat and cover yourself when you want to sleep with a sheet. Now just imagine if you're going to sit on a sheet, you know what will happen to your if you try to sit on a sheet. I've heard people saying sheet. Another sheet you hand. That is where your sheet is, sir. People try to direct you to the sheet. So I'm just asking, where is the sheet? Don't make these mistakes knowingly. Fo and po. Roundabout. I'm sure you know the correct word, right? And every time my driver, 99.999% drivers say roundabout. Is that so? All the drivers, maybe you are going with your drivers in your cars or whatever cars. Every time my driver says roundabout, I say, what is it? I correct him immediately. Now, I told you that I'm going to tell you I corrected my driver recently. He came to me with a note saying, single Liangave, socket sober ticker, Savikara Ganimata Anumati. I said, until you correct the letter and bring, I will not approve this. So he went around asking for many people, nobody even understood the mistake. I didn't tell you what the mistake was. After 2 days, he came. I said, I found the answer. For 2 days, I didn't approve, right? It's not shock absorber, it's shock absorber, right? So at least help your drivers when they make a mistake. Simple words we mix up. It's and it's. I hope you understand. If you don't understand the difference, you can ask me now. Others, I'm expecting you to know the difference. Cooperation. Both pronounced the same way, but two different words. There and there. I see a lot of mistakes people make mixing these stuff. Here and here. Abandoned and abundant. I see a lot of mistakes. Estate and state. We went through it. Dentist and dental surgeon. Do you know the difference between these two? Dentist and dental surgeon? Is there anybody who is married to a dental surgeon or dentist? Do you know the difference? Anybody? I hope you understand, so I will not explain. Education department, department of education, but this is of course both are used. But the better you are saying is Department of Education, Department of Agriculture, Department of Examinations. Runway and runaway. I hope you understand these two. If you don't understand, only I will explain. If you don't understand the difference between any of these words, you can ask me now. I'll explain, otherwise I expect you to know them. Finally, talk sense. Write for others to understand. Be precise and concise. Don't use words if you don't understand the meaning. Pronounce correctly. That's all I have. If you have any questions, I am willing to answer any of your questions. We have about 15 minutes left over, right? And there is one more presentation. If you are interested, I can just go through it very fast, because I always told you that I like engineers to be standing above the rest. This is about power dressing. I will share. I'll just show it to you. I'm not going to go through it. If you want, I have shared this with Sanjeeva. But it's only for the males. How to dress well. It's called power dressing. I will not go very fast. I'm not going to take a lot of your time. I'll just skim through it. Power dressing. Be smartly dressed. Talk sense. Keep your head up and straight. I call it walk straight, tall, walk straight. So engineers need to stand above the rest in the society. So let's dress smart and talk sense. Be it ladies or gentlemen, dress well. But unfortunately, since I'm a guy, a male, I cannot advise the ladies here how to dress well. You better go and ask someone who knows well. Power dressing for men, play by the rule, never let up. Never let up means කෝකත් ඇන්දත් හරියන්නේ නෑ. අඳින්න ඕනේ හරිදේ. These are the key to projecting confidence and power. So I'm just going very fast. I'm not going to go through this. This is wrong. Never, never, ever from today onwards wear like this middle picture. Never wear short sleeve shirts with a tie. Never. Okay. Shoes, trousers should be smart. Those days we used to keep what you call the crease, right? Shoes should be, these are called dress shoes. Of course, now a lot of people are not using the laced up shoes. If you're going for a party or something high level, you have to always use dressed up shoes, that is with lace. Slip-ons are considered as informal, but I must confess, I don't have any laced up shoes with me right now. I of course used to have some time ago. Right? The ties are very important. Ties can't have huge pictures. I've sometimes seen with makara or some dragon or butterflies or something in the ties. That's not for business attire. The belts should be very smart, not huge ones like what you wear for denims and all. Right? Always the purse should look like this and not like this. Empty the purse frequently. I used to show the handkerchief in person. Always use the handkerchief folded into four. You can do that. easily. Hair and grooming. If you're going for business meetings, you must be seeing this sometimes these musicians and all, they wear all kinds of nice hairdresses, and you can use it for the evening party or something. But if you're going for a meeting, don't use like Fido Dido, just electric shock එකක් දෙනවා වගේ පොඩ්ඩ උඩ ගිහිල්ලා ඒක දැන් ස්ටයිල් එකක් තියෙනවනේ දැන්, or hedgehog cut and all that kind of things is not for business meetings. I can't unfortunately show you my nails. I used to show that very often. Always my nails are cut. I can't show that to you right now. I always show that to my when I do this lecture. Keep your nails cut short. There's nothing like having dirty nails at a meeting. You don't realize these things, but people look at these things. No, tea is finished. So this is my tea time lecture, so that's finished. Okay, my lecture is finished. Now it's free time for you to ask me any questions. I can have the full screen if you like. I don't know how to get the full screen. Stop sharing. Yeah. Anybody who would like to raise a question, you can raise. I have still about 24 people. Please feel free to ask me questions, right? On this or anything on the B paper, I'm willing to speak to you. I'll give you 2 minutes. 7:25. I still have about 5 minutes for the official time to finish this lecture. Anybody want to ask me a question? No one? Was it useful? Yes or no? That's what you don't want to say, no? So that means it wasn't useful to you at all, right?